Vibe coding is like the new thing that I'm obsessed with. I've been working for the last 6 months in building all sorts of different apps. And in this video, I want to dive into how I'm building out this dashboard that I'm working on and the process that I'm using to revise and hone in and polish this app to make it fully production ready, multi-tenant. I can add multiple different clients to the same one. So this dashboard that I've been working on for almost 2 months is a legit, fully functioning, custom, exactly what I wanted, with all this drill down capabilities that I've never seen anywhere before. And this is me walking through one of my final rounds of iterations using Claude Code to build this. And so hopefully you find this valuable. Let me know in the comments if there's other parts of the process that you'd like to see. But this is how I'm building this stuff with our team here at Boolean. And yeah, hope you enjoy. All right, so I want to walk through the exact setup that I am using to build out these dashboards and just explain what I've learned so far and how to vibe code effectively using Claude Code and this app that I'm currently iterating on. So first thing is I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so we can see this better in the video. So hopefully that size is good enough for you there. And then also on my Claude Code window. So when I'm going through this, this is a dashboard that is nearly complete. And I just want to explain my thought process, how I'm iterating and working through this. So the first thing is the revenue and then the production revenue. Both of these, I just have questions for Claude on what is this metric. It doesn't seem super clear to me. I think I know what it means compared to this one, but I want to make sure that it's that it makes sense to someone that's going in and looking at this that's not me. So what I've done over here is I've actually created a skill in Claude that's called punch list, and this is where I go through a particular surface on an app that I'm making, and I record screenshots and then save the transcript in here for it to feedback on it. So for example, I'm going to do punch list Boolean production dashboard. And then it's going to open up this skill and it'll tell me when it's ready for me to start sending in screenshots. So what we're going to do right now is go through this actual owner dashboard of PaintOS, and we're going to submit um, a round of revisions that need to get cleaned up and clarified. So once this acknowledges, we will kick it off. All right, so it says screenshot routing is live. So what it did, it just created a folder in my Finder here for the punch list items that I'm going to be submitting. So as I take screenshots, it's going to log it here. I also use a tool called WhisperFlow. And WhisperFlow is this super awesome tool that you can see here that it allows me to record. So I just press a key on my keyboard and you can see right here it's auto detecting that I'm talking. And then wherever I click, so if I click over here and then stop recording, it just, everything that I just said gets captured here. So I just want to show all the tools that I'm using to do this quickly and efficiently. And now we're going to dive into actually critiquing this dashboard. All right. So I'm going to start recording with WhisperFlow, and I'm going to say, all right, so on the owner dashboard, on that surface, I'm wondering if we could add some clarification on the first row and the second row and what we are talking about with those numbers. So we have revenue year to date, 2.58, and then we have annual plan, that's 3.57. I think the 3.57 is the revenue that has already been produced and the revenue that is scheduled to be produced, but that's not abundantly clear with what we're looking at here. So if we could clarify that. And then I think we should just have like a little, some additional clarification on like this section here. So I'm going to take a screenshot. And you can see here in this there's the screenshot just popped up. So I'm going to open this up and say, okay, so for example, these things here, we need clarification on what I highlighted there on what it is that we're looking at. So what are the date range filters and whatnot there? The next thing is on this marketing section, I want to be able to click into each one of these and see the, I want to be able to see why is the numbers here, so 54, show me the math that got me $54 per lead. So when I click on this, I can see my total spend, which obviously is right there, but I can do the number of SQLs in May divided by my, or I guess it would be my revenue divided by the number of SQLs. So I want to be able to click on this and have it pop up a little sidebar that explains to me what that revenue is. So any one of these that I click, I want to be able to see that. And then the on June, I think that's fine the way that it is. So just those, just make it so that I can click into and see how I'm doing on that particular month. And then when I go look at the marketing spend on the top one here, so if I click on marketing spend 12,000, I want to be able to click into the 12,000 number and see all of the transactions that make up that 12,340. So I'm going to add a little text box here. I want to be able to see all of the transactions that make up this 12,340. All right. Then the other thing I'm noticing is that when I switch to this month and I click on a number, so for example, on this MQL, notice that the number I clicked on was 107, but the do this. All right. So again, just explaining what we're doing here. I clicked on this month and then I clicked on the 107 here. And the month that it opened was month 2. So you can see this. That's incorrect. I'm clicking on the second column, but this is actually week 2 of June, and it shouldn't be showing me. It shouldn't be showing me 409. 409 is incorrect, but the reason that it's off is because it's showing uh, all of the numbers from the second column of the year, which previously was month, but now that we're into this month, it's showing week 2. So really this needs to be filtering and showing me 107 deals from June. So all these ones that say 228, these should actually be showing this is just totally the wrong information. So that needs to get corrected and show me the correct. And I think that's probably applicable to every single thing. So if you could look when I click on last month, I'm guessing the same thing happens. So I do last month and we're looking at May. So I click on this. And once again, you can see that when I click on last month, it is also showing me deals from January instead of showing me deals from uh, the month of May, the first week of the month of May. So I click on this. Notice 114. I'm looking at last month. This MQL does not match 114. That's a problem. all of these dates that are saying January, these should all actually be let's do these dates should actually be in the month of May and the first week of the month of May because of what I clicked on. So good catch there. And we're just trying to highlight this issue. So we're all set there now. All right, another screenshot. And let's go down the page here. What other issues? So issued, I am wondering why the cost per SQL and the estimated these columns here, why do these say plan only? It seems like both of these should have a, I don't know if it's an estimate or an actual, but both of these should have values that we can track and whatnot. Let's go back to the annual view. And on the annual view, again, we are saying issued, but just to improve everybody's understanding of what we're talking about, let's go ahead and say issued estimates on all of these. So issued estimates instead of issued. So we'll cross out issued and do issued estimates instead. Same thing up here. Let's call this issued estimates instead of just issued. And then it looks like the other stuff here, so month 5, that information looks good. No issues there. Okay, this is an interesting one to me that I don't understand. Why is, so in the sales section here, we have this RPE. Why is the RPE, why is the goal RPE 492 in January? And then it's now 2,296 in May. Like, I don't understand why these numbers are changing, because it looks like the overall RPE has been going up, which is a good thing. But I don't understand why the goal has been changing. So that's the first thing to understand, is how is that being distributed or calculated or whatever. So how is the RPE goal being distributed across the month? Again, because it just doesn't make sense that it would be so low in January and then going up. And so now it looks like they're off the mark, when in reality, these red numbers are trending in the right direction. So that just shouldn't be happening like that. And then the other thing here is, for the current month, on basically every metric on the entire dashboard, when you're in the current month, if we have any goals that are like this sales revenue goal, I would like to be able to see the 735. So I'll add another thing here. The 735 goal for the month of May, or sorry, for the month of June, should be fractionally showing, like right now we're on June 13th. So it should be 13th 30ths of the goal, and then color the actual cube here, X days divided by total days of month. So that's what we should be seeing for this right here. I'll draw an arrow there to know are we on track? So 158 over 735. That should tell me if I'm on or off track. But then obviously, ones that are averages, you can still show that this is green in the current month because we're above the goal there. And then same thing for number of sold jobs, production revenue. I want the goal to, I think it would be nice to show uh 735K still, so we know the total month, but we should be doing the fraction, so it's like 158K divided by 300K, and then put in parentheses like of a 735 goal. And then for number of sold jobs, it would be, you know, what is that? 80 sold jobs divided by, or 38 divided by 80, but then it's saying of 192 goal for the month. So each month needs to, we still want to see that total, but we need to see the fraction as how far into the month we are, and then color code all of the current month, whether we're on track or off track of the goal. So I like the idea of the blue is nice to see which month we're in, but maybe we do a blue border around the whole thing and we still color code the um, goal actual, depending on if we're on or off track. Okay, another issue. So when I click in or drill into metrics here, so I'm looking at and I just turned off the whisper flow. So we're going to call that it's processing the transcript because I was talking for so long. All right, so I have this whisper flow transcript now. I pasted it in here and I'm going to submit this, and I just want to show you. So these are the screenshots that I've taken so far. And while this is processing in the background, it's going to go through each of my screenshots and couple that with the feedback that I gave. And then it's going to reformat all of my screenshots and the names of those based on what it is that I was talking about, so that the screenshot gets applied correctly to the feedback that is being worked on. So let's watch those get renamed momentarily. You can see it saying, let me rename them. So boom, it just renamed all the screenshots. And so now I can continue recording additional screenshots because these ones have all been labeled correctly. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard here. Another issue is, so I clicked on number of sold jobs and it's telling me there's 41. Well, that's interesting. Why is it telling me 41 jobs when it's telling me 38 on the dashboard? So let's give that feedback. I clicked on 38. It's now showing me 41. Why is that? So that needs to get cleaned up. The next issue is that when I click on this 28%, it's showing me, again, slightly off. That's a little bit odd. It's 28.1%. And then it's 28.5% on the pop-up. So that's an issue. Not consistent there. And then furthermore, when I go click into, okay, I sold 41 jobs. When I click on the 41 jobs that were sold, now it's telling me 824. So this was after clicking on that previous pop-up. So when And I forgot to start my whisper flow, so I'm gonna have to go back and describe all these screenshots that I took. All right. So first thing is down on the sales section, when I clicked on 38 sold in June, it opens up and it shows me 41. So that's off. And then the very next screenshot here, you can see that I have the 28.1%, and then I open it up and it's 28.5%. So there's something off with what's being displayed in the current month totals and then what's getting shown here. The 28.5 probably is correct if it is 41, not 38, but that's just weird. And then when I click on this number 41, I'm going to put a comment here. Watch what happens on the next screenshot. And so once I click that number of sold jobs, 41, then on the very next screenshot, it's showing me 824 all of a sudden. So that's strange also. And then let's just go look at issued. So then I click this one, then I go to issued, and again, issued's doing the same thing. Instead of showing me the 144 that I issued, it's showing me a totally different number. So that's not helpful either. And then lastly, the other thing that we need to confirm for sure, when we're talking about close rate, I do need to make sure that the close rate that's being shown is the correct calculation. So when we talk about close rate here, what we actually want is we need to clarify in the side here that this is based on close, or the number of sold is based on closed date. And we should put that in there. And then the number of issued is based on estimate date. So we need to make sure that both of these are clarified. And then once again, also anytime that we see issued, I want to say issued estimates, not just issued. So anywhere that that pops up, make sure that we are putting that in there to just make sure the language and everything is being shown correctly. Okay. So there's that. And we already asked the question about RPE, production revenue. I think that looks good. Let's go look at this month. I think in all of the whenever we click into last month or this month, it would be nice to show the date ranges on the week. So let's just clarify the date range that we're talking about. So in all of this, for example, the week 2 of June is I presume June 8th through the 14th. So just put that in there. It's fine to put week 2, but just list the dates, and maybe it's not 6/8, it might be 6/7 through 6/13. So we just need to show what dates we're talking about, so we know that the numbers are accurate. And then once again, if I click on a given month, this is the same issue as before, I believe. So you can couple that, but I'm in the week view, or where I'm looking at 1 month by week. And when I click on the third column, it's showing me the third month, not the third week of June that I'm in right now. So that's another issue that needs to get cleaned up. This should be showing 253K, and instead it's showing year to date, or sorry, month 3 of the year. Not correct. All right, so that's all my feedback for the owner surface of this. So we're going to go ahead and let this process. it's going to read the screenshots and then label. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch the model that I'm using to Fable. So we're going to switch over to Fable model. And then I'm going to ask a question. I'm ready to engineer these changes. Can you confirm that the visuals, screenshots I'm providing are actually... All right. So now you can see here it summarized my additional items. So now we've got a total of 15 items, and it's saying that there's several items that are the same root that it's going to fix. And I'm just asking, can you confirm that the engineer skill is like actually referencing these visual screenshots? And let's see if we can switch back to the model. So it looks like Fable is not being allowed right now. It could have been turned off. So let's go ahead and take this. It might already be happening, but providing, just confirm what I'm providing is actually being referenced. I want to make sure that it's okay. So go ahead and submit that again. And it looks like we're just going to be using Opus 4.8 because Fable is not available. And now it's going to think through that. And then basically from here, what we have is, well, actually, I'll just wait for it to finish. All right, then basically this process can take 5 to 10 minutes. So generally what I do is I'll turn on the remote control so I can open this up on my phone. It's going to have some questions for me to answer. So I will answer those remotely as it's starting to work. But my process is typically I go through, take screenshots, narrate the problems that I have. It documents that into a list of change orders that need to happen. And then it engineers the structure. And then I have another skill to build out the work. And then once it builds out the foundational components, then it has a build out skill that will actually parallelize it and allow the 14 items that I have to get built out in the fastest and most efficient way possible. So here's what I got. It had the screenshots are now wired into the pipeline, not decoration. Every item now has a traceable ID. Third, safeguard is handoff is mine to hold. When I invoke engineer, I'll pass the packet on. Okay, great. So this is P7 RPE goal distribution, ramps from 492 in January to 229, which makes improving actual read off. Actually, we're going to do another one. So every month does or should get the same RPE goal to start, but we need to be able to modify the RPE goal by month. So when I go in to edit my goals, I need to go in and say my RPE goal for this month is, whatever. And then once I put those in, it would again, hard code that for the goal for the month. But when I'm using the wizard, it just applies the same RPE for every month throughout the year, unless the user goes in and changes it. Okay, another question it has for me here. P5, the plan only rows per cost per SQL, estimated dollars show no actuals. Should the build compute the actuals? Yes, we definitely want to compute the actuals. So that's an example of some questions that it comes up with. It's probably going to have several more for me, but by using this remote control, I can answer these questions from my phone and get back to doing what I'm doing in other parts of my life. But that's how I've been vibe coding this dashboard. As you can see, it's way faster than coding it yourself, but it's still a pretty tedious process of just polishing and getting all those details locked in and perfect. So for those of you that are wondering how that is done, there you go. Please drop in the comments if there are questions you have. If you want access to this dashboard, let me know. But yeah, that's the process.